As the first light of dawn paints the eastern sky, a new day awakens over the Amazon rainforest. Amidst the towering giants of the rainforest, life flourishes in every crevice and on every ancient branch. Hidden deep within the ancient rainforest, a vibrant parrot named Lyra stands sentinel. In the heart of the towering rainforest, Lyra the parrot meticulously crafts her nest, a haven amidst ancient growth.
Within the ancient embrace of the rainforest, life finds its delicate haven.
Deep within the emerald canopy, a tender scene unfolds. A parrot.
Even the smallest creatures find their sleep amidst the rainforest's ancient embrace. A shadow quickly passes over the nest, causing Lyra head up instantly. Her body tenses as she stares. Kalen, with his striking sapphire blue and terracotta plumage, lands gracefully on a nearby branch.
In the heart of the rainforest, the bond between these creatures is palpable. Kalen hops from the branch to the edge of the nest, and Lyra shifts aside slightly to make room for him.
Kalen gently lowers the grub into the eagerly waiting, open beak of the tiny chick, a crucial moment for its survival. After nourishing its young, Kalen stands sentinel, his sharp gaze surveying the verdant expanse.
Their vibrant plumages complementing each other. A portrait of partnership in the wild.
As the camera pans down, the rainforest's ancient growth reveals itself.
Here, the towering giants of the rainforest begin their ascent.
Life in the rainforest thrives in an intricate dance of scale, where the tiniest inhabitants play as crucial a role as the towering giants. The scout ant pauses, its antennae vibrating as it senses the air, a subtle but ominous sign of a looming threat. The towering rainforest tree trunk presents a formidable landscape, a vertical world where every crevice and patch. As the sun dips below the canopy, Lyra and Kalen settle into their nest, their shared warmth a silent promise for their precious chick. As a new day begins, Kalen takes flight from the nest, soaring into the dense green foliage to forage for food.
Back at the nest, Lyra remains on guard, preening her feathers but keeping her eyes sharp.
The chick, now awake and wiggling in its nest, appears slightly larger and more active. Lyra watches it fondly. The ants follow their scout, their journey mirroring the silent rhythms of the ancient forest.
Lyra carefully spreads one of her wings to shield the delicate chick from the harsh midday sun.
Kalen returns, carrying a bright red berry, landing silently on his usual perch near the nest.
In the heart of the rainforest, the intricate dance of life unfolds with delicate precision. Carefully, Lyra mashes the berry and feeds the soft pulp to the chick, while Kalen stands guard, alert and watchful.
Once the feeding is done, Lyra takes her turn to forage, flying off into the jungle, leaving Kalen alone to watch over the nest. The rainforest is a symphony of life. Here, even the smallest creatures play a vital role.
The ant continues its arduous journey, navigating the treacherous landscape of moss and bark. Kalen, oblivious to the approaching army, softly chirps a soothing melody to the chick, his powerful body relaxed for a moment. This silent ascent is driven by a singular purpose, an instinct that guides them relentlessly toward a distant. Lyra returns with another insect, and she and Kalen execute another swift, efficient swap of duties at the nest's edge.
Kalen now departs for his foraging trip, leaving Lyra in charge of the nest, their daily routine continuing. The column of ants has reached the halfway point of the tree trunk, moving relentlessly, a determined.
Lyra suddenly freezes mid-action, tilting her head as if sensing a faint vibration or an unfamiliar sound.
Lyra cautiously peers over the edge of the nest, her gaze sweeping down the trunk, but from her vantage point, the ant trail remains hidden from view.
A few lead scout ants have reached a large branch just below the nest. They pause, their antennae twitch.
Kalen returns and immediately notices Lyra's tense posture. He lands silently, his own demeanor instantly becoming alert and wary.
In the heart of the rainforest, even the most vibrant creatures must remain vigilant. Kalen hops down to the branch below the nest to investigate, and his sharp eyes immediately spot the first few scout ants.
A sudden shift in behavior, Kalen's feathers ruffle up, making him appear larger and more intimidating. He lets out a sharp, piercing warning call.
Kalen swiftly pecks at the ants, flicking them off the branch in a decisive, defensive action.
As danger approaches, Lyra instinctively shields her vulnerable chick, her maternal instincts kicking in to protect her young. The blue-bellied parrot is always on alert, its keen eyes scanning the ancient trunk for any sign of movement. Kalen flies back to the nest, his expression still tense. He and Lyra now stand together.
A wider shot reveals the main ant column has paused its advance further down the trunk after the scouts were dispatched.
The sun begins to set, painting the rainforest in a warm, golden-orange glow. It's a beautiful, yet fragile atmosphere. In the growing shadows at the tree's base, the ants begin to regroup, their numbers now appearing much larger, massing for a major assault.
As the day gives way to night, a fragile peace descends upon the rainforest. Yet, for its inhabitants,
As night falls, the rainforest canopy becomes a canvas for the moon's celestial journey.
the rainforest offers a haven, where life finds solace in the ancient embrace of towering trees.
The invasion commences under the cover of darkness.
An immense army marches with relentless determination.
As the giant parrot dozes, a subtle tremor alerts it to a marching army below.
Deep within the towering rainforest, life unfolds in constant motion. Here, even the briefest moments of rest can be interrupted. The faint moonlight reveals a dark, moving mass. An ant army, advancing on the nest.
The rainforest, a realm of constant vigilance, where even the smallest creature must stand guard.
This ancient tree has stood for centuries, a silent sentinel in the heart of the rainforest.
Lyra presses the chick deeper into the soft lining of the nest, covering it as much as possible with her own body, creating a living shield.
Kalen positions himself on a twig at the entrance to the nest, a lone guardian ready to face the first wave of the ant swarm.
The first ants reach the nest area, swarming over the branch where Kalen is making his stand, the battle beginning.
The smaller resident will ferociously defend itself from any potential threat to its territory. Even the most focused of creatures can be distracted by the smallest of annoyances. Lyra watches Kalen's desperate struggle, torn between helping him and protecting her chick.
The sheer number of ants is overwhelming. They begin to bypass Kalen, spilling over the edge and onto the rim of the nest itself.
As the ants near the nest, Lyra is faced with a critical choice. Will she abandon her home, or fight for its survival?
The towering rainforest tree trunk provides a sturdy structure for the nest, a place of desperate defense for Lyra and Kalen. Inside the nest, the tiny chick, sensing the violent commotion, begins to chirp in distress and fear, while Lyra fights just outside.
The ants pour over the nest's edge like a black waterfall, forcing the parrot to stumble back. And yet, despite its formidable defense, the relentless assault of the leafcutter ants can sometimes prove too much.
The delicate balance of life in the rainforest is a constant struggle, where even the smallest creatures play a part.
Lyra sees the immediate danger, and in a flash of movement, she darts in and neutralizes the ant with a single, precise peck.
Kalen slams his powerful wing down onto the nest's rim, sweeping away dozens of ants in a single, desperate motion.
More ants immediately swarm up to replace the ones that were knocked off. Lyra and Kaelin are visibly tiring. As the ants cling to Kaelin's back feathers, he begins to shake, violently twisting and turning.
Lyra plants herself firmly in front of the chick, creating a final barrier with her body, her beak a blur of motion as she pecks at anything that moves.
In the heart of the rainforest, a desperate struggle unfolds. As storm clouds rapidly gather, an ancient struggle unfolds, unnoticed by the fighting Lyra and Kaelin. A single large raindrop falls, splashing directly onto an ant and washing it away.
The towering rainforest, usually a place of gentle life, can suddenly transform into a crucible of nature's raw power.
The heavy rains of the rainforest are unforgiving, breaking formations and washing away hundreds from the bark.
Drenched and exhausted, Lyra and Kaelin cease their attacks, watching as the storm disrupts the ant invasion.
The remaining ants inside the nest are washed away or hastily retreat in the face of the deluge, leaving Lyra.
As the rain began to lessen, it became clear the invasion had failed. The nest was clear of ants, and Kaelin shook water from his feathers.
Lyra immediately turns her full attention to the chick, nudging it gently and checking it all over to ensure it is unharmed.
The chick, though trembling, is safe. It burrows deep into Lyra's damp but warm plumage for comfort and security. Kaelin stands guard, utterly exhausted but vigilant, watching the last of the ants being washed down the tree trunk by the receding rain.
Kaelin's weary features betray a profound relief, and with it, a love for his family.
A quiet gesture of reassurance and shared victory after their life-threatening ordeal.
A few twigs are displaced, but the main structure remains intact, a testament to its builders, Lyra and Kaelin.
Lyra, driven by instinct, begins the cleanup process, meticulously picking out the last remaining ant casualties from the nest lining.
Kaelin takes a short flight and returns with a large, fresh leaf, cleverly placing it to shield a part of the nest from the last dripping raindrops.
Lyra settles over her chick, her feathers starting to dry, a sense of calm gradually returning to the small family.
As the storm recedes, the world is washed clean.
The rainforest canopy glistens with the morning sun. Everything looks fresh and renewed. As the first rays of dawn pierce through the canopy, Lyra and Kaelin stand resilient at the edge of their world.
The chick, now dry and safe, pokes its head out from under Lyra's wing, curiously observing the bright new world outside the nest.
As the forest awakens, Kaelin's song echoes a triumphant call of survival and hope.
Life in the nest resumes, but with a new, heightened sense of vigilance. Lyra and Kaelin constantly scan their surroundings as they tend to the chick.
Kaelin brings back a large insect, a bounty from the refreshed forest. He offers the first bite to a tired Lyra, a gesture of care.
Lyra accepts the food and then shares it with the chick, whose beak now opens wider and more insistently, showing its growing strength.
Nature has erased the evidence of the conflict.
At the base of the tree, a few surviving ants wander aimlessly, their organized army now scattered and defeated.
Back in the nest, the chick is seen attempt to flap its tiny, weak wings, the first practice future life. Lyra gently preens the chick's growing feathers, a tender act that reinforces their powerful bond after the traumatic night.
Kaelin perches on a high branch overlooking the nest, his vibrant plumage catching the sunlight, the resilient guardian of his family. This small family, against all odds, symbolizes survival and the continuation of life. The nest becomes a tiny speck on the massive tree, which in turn is just one of many in the vast, sprawling jungle. The sun shines down on the endless green, where countless other stories of survival unfold every day.